Hi there, this is Terry back again on my Dead Man channel, and now it's time for part 3 of my Action and Superman collection from 1959. But before I do that, I need to do an addendum for the first video. I said in Action Comics 224, from my first video from 1957, that the Superman Island was the first and the only time that we saw it, but that wasn't true. DC database told me porkies. A great subscriber, K.Draws Comics 4422, informed me that they appeared twice since, which I realised I should have remembered the cover, because it's a great cover. It's from Action Comics number 513, and there it is, Superman Island again. And there was another appearance, a little 6-issue mini-series that came out in 2016, Legends of Tomorrow, and that was in issue number 2, and it was a Sugar and Spike story. It was good fun because they'd aged up Sugar and Spike, and there you go, there's the Superman Island. So thank you very much for letting me know. I don't mind being corrected, anybody can correct me. It's nice to know that people are watching and taking notice. But there you go. So now we are 1959, starting with January, obviously, and it's Superman 126. Kurt Swan and Stan Kay did the cover, and the cover story was by Otto Binder, Wayne Boring and Stan Kay. Then we have Action Comics number 248, and there was a first appearance in this one, but nothing to do with Superman. The front cover of the Superman story was by Bill Finger, Wayne Boring, Stan Kay. The cover is again by Kurt Swan and Stan Kay. But the interesting part about this issue is it's the first appearance of the Con Gorilla, a combination of Congo Bill and the Golden Gorilla, who appeared in 224. What I'm just showing you. But this, what happened here was that the Congo Bill saved the life of a tribal chief named Wallow, and the tribal chief gave him a present, as in a magical ring, and when he rubbed the ring, he transferred his mind from himself, obviously, to the gorilla, and the gorilla in turn they transferred to Congo Bill. So they obviously had to keep Congo Bill all nicely strapped up before he transferred. But then he was able to do some adventures, going saving people and all sorts of things for quite a lot of issues as the Golden Gorilla. That story was by Robert Bernstein and Howard Sherman, who I think virtually wrote all of the stories and did all of the art. Then we have another first appearance, and this is Toto. Or he was Toto in the story, but then he became Titano, more fantastic than King Kong. So Titano, the super gorilla, who had kryptonite, as you can see, kryptonite vision, which was not helpful for poor Superman. Cover again by Kurt Swan, Stan Kay and Irish Snap, and the Toto story was done by Otto Binder and Wayne Boring. Also in this issue is a house ad for Flash number 105. Obviously the first of the Flash stories the Silver Age stories of Barry Allen. I know there were 4 showcases before that, but this is the 105 was the first time that he had his own book. Then we have Action Comics number 249. That had the same ad, actually. This was from February 249, as it had the same ad as the previous Superman book. And the 249, this again was done by Kurt Swan, Stan Kay for the cover. It was the first appearance of Luthor as Kryptonite Man. I don't know whether he made any more appearances, I hate to say. This again was the story was by Otto Binder and Al Plastino. This particular book was originally, or supposedly originally, belonged to Brian Bolland, a well-known artist, an excellent artist for that matter. The only thing is that inside the book there's an address stamp of a couple of other people that come from, a couple of other addresses I should say, from people, previous people in America that I think owned this book firstly. Brian probably picked it up because he would have been 8 years old when this came out, so he probably picked it up later on, because this is before comic books came over to the UK, and obviously he's a British citizen. But the only thing is that if he did own this, like it says on the back, I wish he hadn't read it in the bath, because the ripple effect all the way down here wasn't great. But it's about the best condition book I could find at the right price. Then we have Action Comics number 250 from March. The cover again, Kurt Swan, and for a change, it was by Al Plastino. I'm assuming he'd done the inking. And the cover story is by Bill Finger, Wayne Boring, and Stan Kay. And then we have Superman number 128 from April. Superman Jules the Future Men. This is a two-part story. There was another little story at the back as well. This issue again was written by Bill Finger and the art Wayne Boring and Stan Kay. But this story, so they reckon, or E. Nelson Bridwell is called it the last Earth 2 Superman story. And it's something that Bob Razakis actually reiterated in the Daily Planet letter page. So this was the last story of Superman 2, from Earth 2 I should say, so they reckon. Then we have Action Comics number 251. That's from April 1959. And that's again another Kurt Swan and Stan Kay cover. And this was actually the last issue that Tommy Tomorrow was in, because a certain person appeared in 252 that took the space of Tommy Tomorrow, and his stories were transferred as of World's Finest number 102, first published on cover date June 1959. Then we have Superman number 129. It's a May cover date. Again, Kurt Swan, Stan Kay. And in this issue, the second story, Clark Kent, Fireman of Steel, by Otto Binder and Al Plastino, was the first time that Superman used his freeze breath in any media, so DC Database says. The third story, The Girl in Superman's Past, was the first appearance in flashback, as they put it, of Laurie Laramis. I mean, Superman's mermaid friend. She was created by Bill Finger and Wayne Boring, but there's a few issues to go before she actually makes her first proper appearance. Then we have Action Comics 252 with that well-known appearance of Metallo. Now, Metallo was played by Rob Corbin, but spoilers, and I know it's 65 years ago, but there's spoilers, so if you want to keep your ears closed. Okay, he dies in this one, so this is the first and last appearance of Metallo. But obviously, the major story with this is it's the very first appearance of Superman's cousin, Supergirl. This is a decent, very nice copy, considering what I paid for it. And I was going to say that it's the first appearance of not only of Supergirl or Kara Zor-El, or Linda Lee, as she called herself when she went to the Midvale orphanage. But there was also a flashback of her parents. So the first appearance of her parents, Zorel and Allura in Z, even though they never actually mentioned her mother's name in this book. Also, just as a note, it was the first appearance of a Miss Hart and a Mr. Dixon. They were the people that ran the Midvale Orphanage. Then we have Action Comics 253. Again, Kurt Swan, Stan Kay. And the cover story was by Alvin Schwartz and Kurt Swan and George Klein, for a change. And the second Supergirl story obviously was in here, and that was The Secret of the Super Orphan by Otto Binder and Jim Mooney. Then we have issue 130 of Superman. July cover date. Cover story was by Otto Binder and Wayne Boring and Stan Kay. And in this issue, we find out Superman tried 855,019 times to create an antidote to kryptonite before he gave up. And also, we found out that a safe distance from kryptonite is 100 feet away, or 30.48 meters, whichever measurement you prefer. Then we have another first appearance, in a way, and that's Action Comics number 254, July 59 cover day. Again, Kurt Swan, Stan Kay, the artists. Cover story again by Otto Binder, Wayne Boring and Stan Kay. And, oh sorry, no, I do apologise. Otto Binder and Al Plastino. This is the first appearance of Bizarro 1, the adult Bizarro. As we all know, the original Bizarro appeared in Superboy 68 back in October 58, so almost a year before this, well, 10 months. And but this still doesn't stop this not costing a lot of money, because it's the first adult Bizarro. The third Supergirl story actually was the first time that she got foster parents, but they weren't the ones that she eventually had, the Danvers. These were, well, they didn't even name them, from what I can see of this. But Oscar, say again, that was again by Binder and G. Mooney. Then we have Superman 131. That's August cover date. It's Robert Bernstein and Kurt Schaffenberger. And inside this is a Mr. Mxyzptlk story, and by Jerry Coleman and again Al Plastino. Then we have Action Comics number 255, August cover date. And guess what? This was the first appearance of Bizarro Lois Lane. Again, another reason for them to charge more for it. And we had there, again, it was Kurt Swan and Stan Kay with the cover. Bizarro Lois was written by Otto Binder and the art was Al Plastino. And this issue also contained the first letters in the mailbag about the introduction of Supergirl. Then we have Action Comics number 256, September cover date. The main story again was by Otto Binder and Al Plastino. The Supergirl story, it was the first appearance of Dick Wilson, and he became Dick Malvern. And also it was the first appearance of the Supergirl robot that she used to keep in the tree. So when she went on her adventures, the robot could go and pretend she was Linda Lee and do whatever Linda Lee did. And we're nearly at the end now. The next is Superman. I said Supergirl. Superman October number 132. Again, Kurt Swan. Oh, actually, they just say Kurt Swan did the art. I would imagine that he didn't do all. I was assuming he did the inking as well, but Stan K did the inking, but there's no mention of that. This Superman's Other Life, it was called an honorary imaginary story. As I said, the story depicts what would happen if he stayed on Krypton, and obviously Krypton didn't explode. It was also the first Superman comic officially delivered to the UK. Most of it was November cover dates tended to tell. November 1959 cover dates tended to be. This is October, but they reckon this was one of the first. This was the first Superman comic that came through. The ironic thing about this is I bought this issue not from America, and not in this country. I bought it from a guy in the Netherlands. Action 257, October 59. Main story by Otto Binder, Wayne Boring and Stan K. Kurt Swan, Stan K art. And the cover tells most of the story. Then we have Superman number 133, November 59. November, we know it's 59. Kurt Swan, Stan K, and Irish Snap gets a name named here. And the cover story was actually by Jerry Siegel, Wayne Boring and Stan K. The second story in this is How Perry Hired Clark, and again that was written by Jerry Siegel and Al Plastino. And then Action Comics number 258, November, is the second appearance of Supergirl on the cover. And again, it's Kurt Swan, Stan K. And the poor girl, she hasn't been on the planet 5 minutes and he's already sending her away. And in this issue, and I think that's part of the reason why she's been thrown out, is she learns Superman's secret identity. How she didn't know it for the last 6 issues, I have no idea, but there you go. And last but not least, there's another cover they just give to Kurt Swan. This is Action 259 from December. Cover story was by Jerry Siegel and Al Plastino, and they also the last the Supergirl story in it. As you can see, she visited the Stone Age, and lots and lots of time travelling were done in these late 50s, early 60s story. And that was called The Cave Girl of Steel, and it was by Otto Binder and Jim Mooney. And that is it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will be with you with 1960. Thank you very much.